joining us now with more. Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, both you and you have 85 co-sponsors to a bill that will put massive sanctions on Vladimir Putin. I think this couple, by the way, I love the idea the president is not giving the weapons away. We can't afford to give them away. It's Europe's job. They've got to step up and protect their own continent. But we are giving them the assistance after President Trump pretty much gave Putin every opportunity in the world for peace, and he's chosen to reject it.
Well, you went through a list of accomplishments of the president in 6 months, and they're very, very impressive. But the best is yet to come. This war between Russia and Ukraine has been raging for 3.5 years. It started on Biden's watch. I believe they would never invaded Ukraine if Trump were president. Remember how he felt when we withdrew from Afghanistan, people chasing that plane down the runway, and the chaos and the shameful feeling we had? Well, President Trump has restored America. He bombed those facilities in Iran. He gave them 60 days, and Iran played games with Trump, and he bombed them on 61. He has been trying to get Putin to the table. He believes Putin is playing him, and he changed the game today. What did President Trump do today? He's selling weapons to NATO to benefit Ukraine. It is good for the American economy. These factories that exist in America that make weapons, they will be selling those weapons to NATO. Europe will be paying for it, and Ukraine would benefit. But he also told Putin, I'll give you 50 days to end this war. And if you haven't come to the peace table to end the war by 50 days, in 50 days, I'm going to put a 100% tariff on all the countries that buy your oil and gas and defund your war machine. So China, Brazil, and India, you better listen to what Trump said today. If you keep buying cheap Russian oil and gas to fund Putin's war machine, President Trump is going to put a 100% tariff on all of your products coming in the United States if you don't change your behavior. And I'm going to make a prediction, they will. They're going to go to Putin and say, enough, get to the table.
What bothers me is, remember when Angela Merkel was Chancellor of Germany and Trump gave her the white flag, and she goes, well, what's this? You're surrendering. And she had just done a multi-billion-dollar deal for Russian energy. And the president was right. Western Europe is just as guilty buying that cheap energy from Putin, funding that war machine. Even as the buildup of troops and weaponry along the Ukrainian border was taking place, what did they think he was going to do? In many ways, they're as responsible. I think it's an underreported story as well that the president got all of these NATO nations now to more than double their contribution because they've not been paying their fair share. That was a huge accomplishment. If they really care about peace on their continent, they've got to be committed to it, and they got to put their money where their mouth is. What I like about this deal is they're buying the weapons, they're making the decision. This is their continent. We're offering to sell it to them. That's good for our economy in one sense. However, it's better that we have peace in Europe altogether, and that this insane amount of death ends.
Yeah, well, war is bad for business. Putin is trying to take over Ukraine by force of arms. Ukraine gave up 1,700 nuclear weapons they had in the mid-90s, being promised that their country would never be invaded. Putin broke that promise. Well, Trump is going to end this war. We haven't had one American soldier die. President Trump is a man of peace, but he's not a man to be trifled with. So NATO is going to double the amount they spend on our common defense. Ronald Reagan tried to do that and couldn't. Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime to get the Europeans to do their fair share. They've reduced their dependency on Russian oil and gas by 70% in Europe. How does Russia stay in business? China, India, and Brazil buy most of their oil and gas now. Russia is weaning themselves off. So President Trump announced today, if you're buying Russian oil and gas to keep Putin's war machine running, we're going to put a 100% tariff on all your products coming into America in 50 days. And you know what? It will change this war. It will bring this war to an end. Donald Trump has done something no other American president has been able to do in my lifetime. get Europe to up their game when it comes to our common defense.
No, I mean, they don't have the backbone or the spine on their own, if we're going to be frank about it. He's giving them a spine, and he's giving them an opportunity to bring peace into their continent.
Yeah.
They need to step up. They need to do their part. It seems the only language either the mullahs in Iran or Putin understand is strength, and they're about to be hit hard financially. That's strength. Lindsey Graham, thank you.